Hello, hello. Hopefully your state exam went well today. You do have a condensed schedule that looks like this. So if you want to pause and take a look at it, feel free. Schedule for today is to review the first homework on that motif homework page. It was signed on Tuesday. You had time to read yesterday. But then do an activity with Hilberg's 6 stages. Those stages we took notes on last Wednesday. Your homework due next Tuesday. Continue reading, next 23 pages. Same format for the homework as the homework that was due today. So we'll go review that now. On the motif homework page, you should have this section filled out. The section for next week, due Tuesday, right here, same exact format. Highlight your motifs, insert your different examples. To go over those motifs, I have multiple examples of each one, and this still doesn't cover them all, but just to show you some things that you could have included, you also could have paraphrased, but you can look over this. I sent it to you in your own folder. We see Ellie's father's being fairly stoic, not wanting to change, thinking everything's going to be fine, but then when they do have to leave and he realizes what's happening, he does cry. Shows like Ellie realizes the depth of what's going on. For religion and faith, we filled this one out in class on Tuesday. Even as he hears from Moishe the Beetle how poorly things are going, he's still devoted. Even when he is sent to the small ghetto and has to leave his house, he still thinks about God in relation to his house, not any of the other things that he's losing. For power and powerlessness, we did see some of this on Tuesday, but it's to the point that Moishe the Beetle really stops praying, stops caring. So you could have also included that with religion and faith. We see the power that police use legitimately, and here you really can see that they are using it coercively beyond just legitimate power. These two things would also connect with religion and faith, this idea of power over someone and how they would actually normally follow their beliefs and being forced to go against them. This last piece with dehumanization, we did see these things on Tuesday. This piece would actually be people are so beaten down and so tired that Ellie describes them as looking like beaten dogs just because they've had so much taken away from them. This piece, yes, it relates to religion. Yes, it also connects with this idea of powerlessness, but it's to the point of treating people as less than, that they don't even have basic human rights, like an animal in a cage at that point packed in. Same thing with cattle cars, and they are numbered. They are taken like inventory of how many people, and one person is actually turned and used to guard each other, so they turn people against each other. And the description of these cattle cars is going to be in your next reading that's due Tuesday. And you could have done any number of things in addition to this, paraphrasing. It's just that you note these, and on the homework, you do only need one for each section. You'll end up having 4 examples across any number of motifs. That's due next Tuesday for these pages. Your class assignment, Hilberg Stages in Night. We took notes on this last Wednesday. The idea is that there were these 6 different stages of how the Nazis isolated and moved through their plans very systematically. That these quotes in bold, what you would do is read these different stages and then look at these different quotes to see how these things were done against Ellie and the people around him. Also, Moishe the Beetle, some things happened to him as a foreign Jew that are more extreme, and it doesn't follow this process, but this process was used as this slow integration of their hatred and their systematic plan. So an example of what you would do is you'd read, definition, isolation. It's hard to differentiate legalized discrimination from separated from society. But when you look at this quote of how every Jew had to wear the yellow star, legally they were discriminated against, separated from society. And there are a couple other examples of this. Emigration is the act of leaving by choice. There was the option for that. Ghettoization we hear quite a bit about in details there, but you can see how that process happened. Ellie and Moisha were both deported, and mass murder is one thing that Moisha witnesses. The rest of this book, the next 90 pages, is Ellie avoiding mass murder, witnessing mass murder, but trying to live through it, be one of the few people who makes it through this. So your task for this assignment, read through these remaining quotes, copy and paste them, or cut and paste them into this chart. When you have done that, the substitute will give you an answer key so you can compare these things. Once you finish this assignment, you can then use any time left to continue reading and complete your homework. I look forward to seeing you on Tuesday. I hope to see everybody has this done so that we can then actually do something related to the content in it rather than just going over the motifs. Take care and have a great weekend.